I'm here joined by Phil, owner of SOTA Personal Fitness in Minnetonka. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about SOTA Personal Fitness and your location, and just a little bit about kind of the background and when you started, and then we'll learn all about Phil and what drives you.
Yeah, exactly. We started 2017 officially with our brick and mortar location, and we're in Minnetonka on like the east side. We have like a 3,500 square foot space. We generally help. We work with everybody. We have some kids, some people in their 80s, but generally our target demographic is busy adults. Parents, the 40 plus population.
It's me.
Yep. Just help people get stronger. We focus on strength training, longevity, all the stuff people don't know how to do or won't do on their own. Try to make it simple.
I think a lot of people know what they should do, but the motivation falls off so quickly, right? And it takes how long to develop a habit? Like 21 days.
That's what they say.
To develop a habit. I mean, I heard this one story. I don't want to get off too much here, but one story where about a guy, he lived 2 hours away from a gym. It was up in way northern Minnesota. Yeah. And every day he drove 2 hours, was at the gym for 5 minutes, and drove home.
Yeah.
And they said, you can't get fit in 5 minutes. Why would you do that? And he said, I was building the habit of going there for 21 days or 30 days. And then he started staying in a half hour each time and an hour. So he just needed the habit of going.
Yep. That's like James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, right? That's like
one
of his strategies.
Habits,
is like just step in the gym. And then you could just go to the parking lot first. And then eventually it becomes more routine. And you just do these bite-sized pieces.
Yes, 100%. So motivation and discipline, both for business owners and for like everybody in life. So how do you get people walking in the door? What is your process? What is your onboarding? What is your like normal, like, okay, let's do this to figure out math equation, if you will.
And I love this question because a lot of people have a preconceived notion about what gyms are like. And they imagine it's, I don't know, LA Fitness or Lifetime Fitness. Great facilities, but, they go in and, the big parking lot, they come in, no one knows their name. There's, 20 high school kids in those stringer tank tops, and it's just not the right vibe, right?
Yoga pants.
Yeah, lots of mirrors.
A lot of mirrors.
People on the Stairmasters sweating, just watching everyone. It's just not like a focused environment. There's a lot of distractions. So like our process is like, just tell us you're interested. We'll do a phone call. We'll see if we're even a good fit. Because it's not like we work with everybody. There's definitely a certain criteria that we're more qualified to help or not. And we're honest with that. So if, do a short, phone or Zoom call. If it does seem like a good fit, people come in. We do what's called a starting point session. Get a tour of the gym. Check out the vibe. We do a goals and needs assessment.
Sure.
Do some movement screening. And then, if they feels like a good fit, then we get their schedule set up and start getting them results.
I love it. So what is the vibe at SOTA Personal Fitness? Like, what is that vibe that you guys portray? Because there is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of gyms out there and a lot of places that people pay every month and never show up past the first week.
Right.
That's like, I think that's the definition of a gym. Now there's big box and small box. So what's your vibe?
Yeah, no, it's another really good question. We are in a kind of place that's like, hey, if you're not going to pay for it, we're to say, hey, let's just take a break. When can we meet back up and make this work? But we, every quarter we do team meetings and we just review our culture, our core values, so to speak. And one of them, we adjusted one where we call it good vibes and high fives. Right. So when people come in, we want it to feel like a home environment. We have a rule. We got to greet them by name within 10 seconds. That's like a non-negotiable. Doesn't matter if you're cleaning the toilet, working with a client. We look, give them our attention. It's kind of like that, the store, the buckle. There's like a buckle challenge. If you could go to the back of the store and go to the front door again without them saying your name like you won, because you can't do it. It's kind of like what we do. It's like a welcome home atmosphere, We got a couple clients who come in and Coach Blake will just start doing the skull chant, and then all of a sudden, 5 people are doing it. Some of the newbies are like, what's going on here? But that's our vibe. It's a personal thing. We don't focus on having 500 members that pay nothing and never show up. We have about 200 members right now, and they come in 2 to 3 days a week regularly. They have a group, so to speak. And so that's what I'd say is that people come to do certain things like lose weight and get healthier, but they stay for reasons completely unrelated.
That is so. I love that people show up for what they think is the reason, and then they stay for a different reason.
Yeah,
that's good. So I mean, 3,500 square feet. That's not a small gym. That's like lots. Do people, can they just come and work out on their own, or do you all do just small group sessions or personal training sessions? What's the?
Yeah, we used to be like one-on-one and large group only, and we found out there's like a big gap in the middle. Like one-on-one is the bigger investment. It's more of a finer scope of coaching. It's more involved.
More expensive.
It is, and that's a big barrier to do it more mid to long term.
For sure.
So, and then large group is great, but it's the same workout, and it wasn't specific enough for most people. And it's less accountable because they're just kind of signing up when they want to.
Yep.
So it relies too much on motivation. So the small group piece we started doing when we kind of did our renovation last year, which is a big deal. It's, one coach up to 6 clients.
Okay.
The sweet spot's like 4 or 5.
Yep.
Everyone gets their own program. They're doing things independently, but like still as a group.
Yeah.
So it hits a really sweet spot of like value. And so it's
reasonable, fair, so that they can feel like, hey, I can do this a few times a week. I'm not going to go broke.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can ultimately hit my goals, which is, whether it be losing weight, being stronger, even flexibility, mobility, whatever that looks like for everybody. So different.
Yep.
Okay.
And we have an open gym format. We just started doing that because we're like, we do have capacity for a few people to do their own thing. Because optimally, we want to have people doing stuff 3 times a week with us, but it could be more like on their own. So we give people a plan, they come and do it, and that works out really well. And we still have our one-on-one, we still have a large group format, but that's that middle ground, that small group is quickly becoming like the place to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many push-ups can you do at one time?
Ooh, I don't know. Should we find out?
Yeah.
Let's go on this table.
We don't have
right
a pull-up
now.
bar. I don't have a pull-up bar, but I was like, how many push-ups?
I don't know. I haven't banged out a set to see where I'm at in a long time.
Okay, well, I think we need
After
to know.
the show.
I think maybe we'll have to need to know that at some point. A competition?
Well,
I don't think that's fair. But maybe give us both like a year and come back and see. I know I started it. You're right. Right? Like.
Well, the other thing is you see people do like push-up contests and they'll go like halfway down, and so there's some criteria.
What's your Murph time?
You know what? I've only done the Murph once, and I didn't do it like the RX version.
Okay.
So I couldn't even tell you. That was probably 4 years ago.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably what we should focus on.
I think you'd probably beat me at the Murph potentially. I don't know.
That was a big deal for me for a long time. It's kind of fallen on the wayside, but I think I need to get back up into it a little bit. And we can fall back with this with our future Murph time.
We'll see you back.
Because that's what, right? That's 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats,
and
a mile run on both sides of that.
Correct.
With a 20-pound weight vest.
That's right.
To do it correct.
Yeah. To do it correct.
To
make it
And
hurt.
if you want to know what torture feels like and like absolutely the worst thing in the world, do one of those.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's great.
So your thing is a little bit different. You're actually somewhere people want to come back to.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So tell me, Phil, like when you came from, like, what's your background? Like, why did you decide, hey, you know what? Let's start a personal training fitness center in Minnetonka. Like, were you at a W-2 9-to-5 job at one point? Was it always an entrepreneurial type of person?
I think when I was like a kid, I started a business with my friends where I would trade these Crazy Bones, or I'd pay my friends in Crazy Bones, which were like these little plastic toys that don't exist anymore. I think I
like
called it like
kid stickers. They don't exist anymore, and I would trade those things.
Yeah. I still have a bag of them just in case they take back off. Like Beanie Babies.
It's
they won't.
To like cryptocurrency.
They won't. Pretty much.
The precursor to cryptocurrency.
Yeah, my dad saved me a bag, and we were moving recently, so I had all these bins of my stuff. I'm like, what is this garbage? And I'm like, it's a plastic Ziploc baggie full of these Crazy Bones. I'm like, it's small enough. I'll just keep them just for the memory. So I think I always had that entrepreneurial like kind of spirit, but and then went through school. Didn't know what I was going to do. I had a back injury, so I had 2 different car accidents. So one when I was first one was in high school. I was like 17, driving with my friends, and we were in a Jeep Wrangler with like the soft top, and a drunk lady like rear-ended us going like 60 miles an hour, and we were stopped.
Oh my gosh.
So like the whole back tire got like pushed into the car, and it was like a miracle something worse didn't happen.
Well, that tire probably helped a lot, actually.
Yeah. Well, the back seat, my friends did not have like a headrest. It's like a Jeep. It's like an end.
Yeah, I know I have a Wrangler.
You do?
Yeah, I have a Wrangler. My wife drives it.
They're not. I mean, they're great cars, and we were okay, but like my friend Chuck next to me, his seat like unbolted from the bottom.
I'm selling my car.
Like came out. Well, we were all okay, but I did. So I fractured my thoracic spine. So I broke part of my spine. And
was that like your C? What? Where?
I think it was like my T5 or T4. Yeah, thoracic spine. So it's between my shoulder blades.
Yep. Okay, the higher up. Okay.
Yep, exactly. So that, I didn't get like checked out or anything, and maybe I should have, but yeah, that caused me issues for a long time. And then I had another car accident with another drunk driver where they ran a red light and I hit them, and then I messed up my shoulder, and both cars totaled both times. So my mother was just so ecstatic when I bought a motorcycle, right? A few years later. She's like, you don't have good luck.
Rule of threes, Phil.
Yeah.
Rule of threes.
Never happened. I don't have a motorcycle anymore.
Probably good.
Yeah. But so this really stems from a big history of like pain. Like I worked in an orthodontic office for a long time. From like I was 16, I helped make dental appliances, spending, time hunched over a desk, doing stuff all day. And my back would be so bad I'd have to like lay in the floor in the break room just to like let things calm down because my back would be spasming. And
we could make this podcast about back pain right now. Like there's so many people. Like I personally, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'd have to lay on the ground. Mm-hmm. I'd have a stim machine, like at home stim machine.
Yep.
Have like the heat and the ice pack, bottles of Advil sticking there all the time.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
very
right there.
common.
Right there. I'm right. Like when you say this stuff, I'm right there with you, and I think a lot of people are. But okay.
So yeah, people would come into the break room and they would like not know I was there. They'd be heating up some lunch. Like, oh my god, because I'd be like laying there, like So that was a big issue for a long time, and it only got worse when I got into like this more sedentary lifestyle. There was school. I was just sitting, and activity went down. I wasn't playing soccer anymore. This is a very common narrative for a lot of people when they get their first job, and then they get kids, and it's just like it's so hard to fit it in, so they don't do it, and then we get weaker. This just happened to me earlier and was precipitated by that car accident, or both of them. And so I got a gym membership, and I was going through PT, physical therapy. It wasn't working well for me. I wasn't doing exercises because it just wasn't a motivating environment.
No.
You see him once every 2 weeks. You get a piece of paper, right? And do this. Yeah. It's like, okay. So I'd go in. I'm like, I'm doing my exercises. And I wasn't. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, well, this sucks. So I tried chiropractic, all this. And it wasn't until I started lifting some weights that like I started feeling better both acutely and then over time. It was I just wasn't strong enough. Right. To like hold my head up, and that happens. We start losing muscle around the age of 30, and it just father time just strips it, until we do something to reverse it.
Yeah. Well, and some people are very strong in certain areas of their body, but not in other, and it's compensating. And when you actually get like better in like the smaller muscle groups, it's like, wow, what a difference this made. And I felt like I was strong, but I did one exercise different and it changed everything.
Right. It's pretty
humbling. That's interesting background. That you started. So you decided I'm going to start a gym.
Not until after I failed getting into PT school.
Got it. Okay.
Because when I went through that, I was like, I like this. I always wanted to help people. I was a psych major, but I was like, I want to change how this PT thing is done. So I was a little late to the game. I got one interview in Stockton, California, which is they're known for they got a school and they have a prison, and it's not the ocean. It's not California like you think.
Yeah,
you just drive inland. And it's just like ugh. So I didn't get in. I got the interview, botched it, and as I was kind of going through my, I was going to reapply. I was convinced I had to go to PT school. I started working at a gym, not too far from where we are now, and all of a sudden it was just like, I don't mind getting up for this at 5 a.m. I'm good at it naturally, and it just kind of clicked. So that's just where it started. I worked there for a year, and then it's called the management. The gym owner was just ethically not in line with what I was looking for. So I left. Had a few people follow me, and went to a few different gyms, needed a brick and mortar location so I didn't have to rely on someone else's ability to manage a space.
Yep.
So that's when we got our current space about 8 years ago, just over that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's been a fun journey.
So tell us about business owner, Phil.
Oh, yeah.
Like what is your process? I know like we were talking a little bit before that something I've actually kind of cool that you and your wife do what? Like every so often?
Oh yeah. So yeah, just as far as getting stuff done, we have 2 young kids, right? Just turned 3 and 6. So quiet time is far and few between. It's especially because we
non-existent.
Yes. Well, who am I kidding?
We go to work for a quiet time.
Yes. Yes, we do. Sometimes Monday's like, oh, all right, daycare. Love our kids, but I mean,
we're
we
there.
all need breaks here and there.
Monday's my favorite day of the week.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Because you have how many kids?
I have 4.
Yes. I mean, that's
when you talk about
zone
when
coverage.
you talk about sedentary lifestyles.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I coach my kids.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you sit in the bleachers, you sit at the baseball field, right? You're sitting at work, you're sitting in the car, you go at home, you watch Netflix, you're sitting on the couch.
Yep.
Like it's the new smoking, right? Sedentary.
That's what they say.
Yeah, it's crazy. So.
Yep.
I said with the kids, and you're going to be up there pretty quick, like whether it be dancing or whatever hockey or whatever they tried to do, you got to keep moving. Like that's so true. So that part get, but okay, keep going with what you do. Yeah.
No,
your wife do.
That's good. So yeah, we run the gym together, and we both wear several different hats. All the stuff that's kind of like the unsung, not heroes, but just all the things that require a good, solid working environment organization. So I do a lot of like the management, handle the consultations. I have a couple of people that I work with and I sub as needed for the team. And then Katie does like almost everything back end. So she helps with the software. She keeps things running smoothly.
Newsletters.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you do YouTube stuff, right? Or you do some type of newsletter.
We do. Yeah.
But but in order to think,
yes,
right, you need time apart, or you need time by yourself.
Yep.
As a business owner, I can relate to that. And some of us I get mine on my runs, right? And I decided I'd joke, like that's where I come with these brilliant ideas that the next day I think aren't really that brilliant, but there's like 1 out of 10 that's like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah.
But what do you guys do?
Once in a while, we'll just book the other party a hotel room close by. We have a space. We usually use some points, so it's not cost prohibitive. Just to have like a night of uninterrupted sleep where we can just do whatever we want with that time. And oftentimes we'll both spend time just catching up on work, but that feels good. That feels like a restorative use of that time. Cause some of like my ideas are like big enough that I can't do it in 30-minute chunks. I need to like sit and absorb, and it goes through a process. So,
it takes a lot of 3M sticky notes.
Oh, plenty. As we were talking,
right?
Things are getting bad when I've got a pile of 30 different colored crumpled sticky notes in like my cup holder in my car.
Yeah.
Because I can't not write it down.
No. Every business owner has that process.
Okay, good.
Every business owner. So you're in your car or I'm on a run or whatever, and you come up with or you're in real estate or you're selling widgets, right? You have this brilliant idea. Everybody has a process, right? So do you stop and take a note in your car? Like I put it on my phone, or I take an audio note, or I even record a video of me saying it.
Yep.
When it just kind of strikes you, can you go back later and you're like, was that a good idea or not?
Yeah. Usually it starts on the sticky note, and then if it makes the cut, it'll go to another notebook that sits in my laptop bag. It's in there right now, along with probably 30 sticky notes. So I just collect them and try to organize them. It's hard because I want to do so many things. I want to like everything I do now is about system optimization for our team, for our clients, and for our business. As well as like our family, because there's a lot of overlap in business ownership and management and managing a family, like core values, processes, schedules. It's almost identical, we've found. And so I want to do so many things all the time, but you can really only do a few. So it's tricky.
So how did you're right. It being a business owner is unbelievably tricky. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you both wear a ton of hats. Mm-hmm. But when you started, like if someone just like you started this all over again, what mistakes did you make, or what did you do that worked really well right out of the gate? Like the number one thing,
right?
Get clients. Right? Yeah. Some people will. I'm going to buy business cards. I'm going to buy my worksheet. I'm going to buy all these things, and so I'm ready when my clients show up. Yep. And the best businesses I find work in reverse of that. They go find clients and get too many clients, and then out of necessity, they solve the biggest problem that comes to them.
Right.
So most businesses don't start that way, though. So talk us through like some of the things that you kind of failed at, or some of the things that went really well out of the gate.
Totally. Yes. I joke with our team a lot. It's like it's taken us 8 years to get to this point. And I think if I could start fresh now, I could probably do it in 1 to 2 years.
Right?
Because it's like
way faster.
Won't do that again. Won't do this again. A lot of it comes down to, I was always passionate about what I do. And a huge roadblock or barrier was like trusting it to other people. So I forgot who said this. I think he wrote, maybe it's Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time is a book that he has. That's like, if you can get someone else to do it 80% as good as you, that is an A+.
Yep.
So you got to be okay with that buffer and be like, that's plenty. That's actually best case scenario.
But that's really hard as business owners because I'll just do it. I'll just do it. I'm better.
Yes.
I'll just do it.
I still do that stuff.
We can't help it. It's how we're ingrained, right?
It's like a business is like it's a little child, right? And it's the first time you give it to the babysitter, you're like, are you gonna be okay? Like, call me, It's like,
how's things going?
So out of necessity, like now we have, we have a team of soon to be, I think 9 coaches, and like everyone has some other things they're delegated to. We still need more of them delegated, but like we sold our house last week. We had to get all our stuff out of the house. We were right on that fringe of needing to hire it out to move. So we did it ourselves for the most part with some family. And we barely got anything like done last week. Like we didn't check our email. It was like, oh my God, I'm leaving this on the table. Katie struggled because we had our meeting yesterday. She's like, was everything okay last week? And they're like, yeah, like we got it. So once you're able to do that, like then you're able to equip them with, the confidence that, they've got it. They've got it down. We can do stuff like that and not sweat it. And I knew the whole time, like, it's fine. If there's a fire, we'll put it out. But it takes a while to get there. So back to like your original question, it's like
that's a really good point.
That's one of the things I think I struggled with was trying to like micromanage and do it exactly this way. And we found a really good balance now. If this is the framework we use, but as a coach, you're independent. These are the goals. This is how we approach it generally, but we want your own individual, touch on that. So it feels not forced. Yeah. I think other than that, like some of it just like you have to struggle in order to learn those things. You can't, like you can do a little franchise model of a business, but like then you're not going to learn the skills the right way. Oh. You need to make the mistakes because that's where you learn the best way.
Failure is such a positive word in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, I failed. I didn't do it. Like I sucked at it." It's like you learned so much in that period of time that now you're going to make your business better.
Yep.
And what you just talked about is releasing and letting some stuff go and give it to other people. If you got the right people in there, you watch them. Give it to them and watch them. What happens?
Yep.
Right. And sometimes you're just unbelievably amazed. Mm-hmm. But I bet that felt really good last week that you could kind of take a step back and be like, oh, it didn't burn to the ground.
Yes, it never has, and it probably never will.
Yeah, never burned to the ground. Like, that's really fantastic.
Yeah, and it's the right people, and that's the hardest part. Is the people are they're everything as far as the team. Yeah. I know for a fact there's several instances where I hired someone, it wasn't a good fit, and I was too afraid to say, this isn't a fit. I'm like, it'll be all right. They'll get better. And like, I knew
How long did you put up with it?
Far too long.
Like how long we're talking?
The last time this happened, it was like within a week. It was like
fire fast, but no, the first time this happened, was it years
was like
or
it
months?
Might have gone you could say some were maybe years, and like it was just on that fringe, just kind of like a spectrum. It's like, like here's the line, and you're like, this is acceptable. You're like right here.
I can change it. I can make it better. I can do something, and you kind of put yourself in that shoes, and it just doesn't get better, and then you're like, wow, I should have done it. But if you get the right people,
yes,
it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah, I'm super conflict avoidant, so there's something going on. I still struggle with like, hey, we got to talk about this, but I found a way to do it that feels really good and still feels positively framed. Like our policies, our coaches, like you can't mess up. All we can do is like we're just gonna talk through why we do something differently, but it's a very supportive environment because we want our coaches to stay forever, to succeed, have opportunities for growth. And if everyone's on board with that, everyone will do better, like a rising tide lifts all ships sort of thing. So that has been the biggest challenge. It's not the systems. It's nothing else. It's finding like the A players. And over the last year or two, we've really got a good group on. We've seen that shift like happen very positively and have an effect on everything else in the business. So that's
really good.
So find the right people, if it's not the right fit, have a good, strong set of core values. That's the guiding principles of everything we do is guided by these six principles that they need to embody. And then it takes it off of you as like the owner. Because it's like, this is what we do. It's not, I don't like you. It's, these are what we need to see. And we review that every quarter with everyone.
How long did it take you to come up with those 6?
Constantly revision, like stole someone else's, and then over time you're like, nah, yes, no, and
ride the coattails.
It's been
someone else has been there before and did it.
Yeah, and the revision gets smaller and smaller because like it's really ingrained, and it's taken this long. But I'm like, this is a good set. This feels right, and then again, that's as demonstrated by again the people we have and what they embody too. So
how did you get? Because it usually, when any business, right, the first thing you have to get clients, or you have to create the widget, you have to whatever, you have to go find someone, you have to sell it, and then after you do that, and you reach your capacity, like Phil can't do anymore, Matt just can't do anymore, no matter how much we think we can or how much we want to, something's going to break, right? Whether it's health wise, whether it's the family, some ball drops, or you stay ahead of it a little bit, or learn the hard lesson, right? And I think then it becomes finding great people, right? How to do that. So how did you guys start with finding clients? And then how did you transition into how do you find great people? That's worked for you. How have you done that?
I was an independent trainer for most of it, all up until we found our space now, but that's before I even met Katie, because she left her Minnetonka job to help us out. Like, I think it's been, oh my gosh, like 2 years or something. And that was just going to be like let's try it out. Minnetonka was not doing well with a work-life balance. For her, it just didn't work for our family. So we're like, let's just try it out for a few months. And like, it was full-time. She was great at it. We're like, oh my God, this is great. It was game-changing. But when I was independent, I was sacrificed a lot. It was up at, I was leading sessions as early as 5 a.m., doing stuff on and off until, 8 p.m. most days. And then, I mean, as we grew, the clientele grew, took care of people first, got the business cards, but just really focused on delivering really good like service and, actually getting to know my clients on a personal level, like just being really invested into that process. And then it just grew kind of naturally through referrals.
So they had a great experience, and then they told other people they had a great experience, and those people told great other people. And that's the best organic way to do it. Right. I'm sure there's a lot of ways you could build a business like yours, but obviously organic is the most powerful. And then how did you once you got 1, and then did it go to 3 and then to 10, or was it like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 25?
I think it was always a pretty solid, like steady growth. I think, it's so long ago now, because I remember I trained out of like this kind of dirty warehouse gym in Hopkins, and it was a great starting point. I love it. Just had space.
I love it. Like
great,
just like starting your garage, right?
But like stuff was like breaking down, and like no one cared. Like that's what's funny. And then they actually moved to another location that was Minnetonka, and they ended up the city shut them down because they weren't coded properly. It was a whole mess. That's when I decided I had to like find a space. Like I can't do this. Like this is my whole living. But like I started with 3 clients. That was it. Still know the names. They were the impetus for everything else, because there's like, hey,
the original
come
3.
and try this out. And so and then it was hey, my parents who were maybe in their 60s, like they had a slip on the ice and they want to make sure they don't break a bone, things like that. So it was just people doing it for the right reasons. And it's so hard to earn people's trust as a business. It's like I can tell you everything in the world, but if your neighbor tells you, or your loved one, they're bought in, they're there. You don't have to not earn that much, but you don't have to like do all this stuff to be like, look, you can trust me. Like they have someone whose word is good. And so that helps me like jump to the important stuff.
That could be a whole nother topic in itself. Like you say carbs are okay. Nothing wrong with carbs, right? Fat's okay. Protein, you should be about this range. And then they hear something different on a podcast, or they hear something different on the news. And while Phil's wrong,
Yep.
And then until you tell them again, oh, no, Phil's right because he told me again. You have to remind them like 7 times before they hear it once.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But being the news in any business is the single most important thing, I think, to retaining and avoiding attrition, right? So some of the things that you after established, I still want to know if it was organic growth that was just kind of 1, 2, then 5, then 7. Was there ever a point where it just like big jumped? Like we went from 100 to 200, or we went from 50 to 80.
Right. You know, there were never any like really big ones, other than if we did some sort of like periodic challenge where like 6 weeks, it's January, we'd see the surge, and some people would
January
stick around.
Surge. Everybody joins the gym in January.
I hate it, but like we should do it because that's where people's heads are at. Like we still do one because that's where people are there, but we kind of sneak them in with get quick results. But then we're like, let's actually get permanent results once they're in, and we have time to do that. But we do some like paid advertising on Facebook, but it's we really try to lean into like the organic referral growth because that's the best. Word of mouth is the best.
It is. 80% of almost every business is built through organic means.
Yeah.
And some people try to do it faster, right? By paying money to get leads, if you will, or paying money to get up to that faster. But the cost per person is so ridiculous that it's sometimes not worth it. Yeah. And then they don't stay because they don't have that same, referral source.
Yeah. And there's a lot less buy-in because they might have just like clicked a thing. Yeah, here's my name, and then you call them and like, I didn't fill out a form. I'm like, well, okay, no big deal. But it's
you did.
It's hard.
Somebody,
I know. I was like, well, you did, but you wanted it then, but okay, it's already gone. That's fine. Like we don't do any like, I don't know. We don't do any slimy sales stuff. It's just we only want to help people who are like bought in. They're like, hey, no, oh yes, I do want help. And they'll give me 5 minutes. Then it's like, cool, let's talk about it. Doesn't mean you're in. I'm not going to ask you for your credit card. We just want to talk. Like, I just want to learn about you and see where you're at.
So then once somebody joins, what are the ways that you as a business owner stay in touch with your, like the people that you have at your gym, but then your network, right? The network is your net worth. Like, do you guys do social? Do you do, I know you do newsletters, but like what kind of systems and processes have you put in place now that you've reached a point of like, right, scale, if you will?
Yep. There's a lot of little process that we do, and we have enough members now that like it's challenging to like have personal relationships with all of our members from me. So I tell our team a lot, like my job is really to take care of you guys because you're primarily the ones taking care of our community, and that's what's important to us.
Yep.
And so every coach has like their kind of assigned members. So they're largely in charge of like the touch points, the check-ins, the fulfillment of what they're in for. But Katie and I also do newsletters. We'll email things out. We want to do more like the educational piece. So maybe it's workshops, seminars periodically where we dive into something very focused and invite everyone to come. But we do, member events. As far as like outside networking, when we did a renovation, we have a great like presentation space now. We've got like a projector, and we want to bring some other people on that are maybe related to what we do, like physical therapists, like psychologists, nutrition experts that can help dive into those things.
Dietitians or whatever, something
just
like that.
To help give them more value so we can stay in our lane, and which is getting people strong and healthy. The things that are related to that are intertwined.
Well, a healthy lifestyle is so encompassing of so many different variables.
Yep.
Right? Tons. So I could see trying to stay in your lane, but providing value outside of that by bringing people in.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We want to do one thing well. There's Minnesota has some of the most gyms per capita. It might be in the country because
there's a lot of gyms.
People are like, huh, really? Maybe it's cold. I don't know, but we are one of the healthiest states in the country too.
Oh.
So correlation, causation, I don't know. But we are active here, which is really good. So there's a lot of competition. You have a lot of different options. There's probably 7 gyms within 5 to 10 minutes of our location. So we gotta do something different that they haven't seen or offers a different value than what they've seen in the past.
That makes sense. Do you guys do much on like email marketing? Or what type of marketing is the biggest positive impact? Is it the videos you send out? Is it the newsletter? Is it like what do you see the biggest positive from or comment from your members?
Yeah, I think we do a lot of different things. We survey every so often where we ask these things. We're like, what's most valuable? We started doing our own podcast to like just get this information out. As you said, like people have to be reminded the same things. So every week we have a list of like 80 topics, but they all come back to like, you have to get your sleep. You have to strength train a few days a week. You got to keep moving. You got to, eat reasonably well and have a plan. It all comes back to like basically these 4 or 5 things.
Yep.
And we're like, that's okay because we need to continue to tell people that.
Absolutely.
And that's great. We all want to be reminded the same stuff, even if we've heard it. It takes time.
And it's different for everything, but in real estate, there's a kind of a joke, but it's true, like a statistic. So they did this thing where they sent out like the number one realtor in all the Twin Cities, and they sent it out for like every week for 52 weeks, and they made this person up. It wasn't even a real person, but at the end of the year, they went into these people's houses and like, who is the best realtor in your area? And they all like with 80% said this person. That was made up. Saw his name. That was made up. But was interesting, if they did it in different markets, they did it like 7 times, didn't work. Really? 12 times didn't work. They found that they had to do it over 26 times before it stuck that they were the number one realtor and the name was recognizable. So I'm just thinking like, and relates to other businesses, they have to be reminded because even though it makes sense to us that we told them that, it goes in one ear out the other. Yes. 6 out of 7 times.
Everyone's busy. It's
so not a priority, but when it is a priority, like if something's wrong with your health, your back, you only have one priority now.
It becomes very, very important because it's not like necessarily beach season. It's like I need to maintain my bone density. I want to play with my grandkids on the floor.
Yeah, I want to be able to pick up my grandkids. I don't want to
be in pain,
So in pain.
And both vanity and the longevity and vitality, like they're in the same boat. You can do both, and we don't shame. Hey, I just want to like look better, naked. That's fine, right? Because you're going to do both at the same time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
If whatever your motivation to get you started, that can stem into the discipline of continuing to do it. I don't care what that reason is.
Right.
And I know you don't care what that reason is.
Yeah, exactly. Back to like marketing stuff. I mean, we just try to put out like lots of like free stuff. So I email out, we put guides together. We have a big like member vault where we put all the resources and we just try to like get the stuff that is actionable if they want to. Because the information, people either lack information or implementation when they're doing this stuff. In a lot of ways, I'm sure, in many businesses and habits.
Yeah.
Information's easy. You can go online. You can do whatever and find like a plan. You can have ChatGPT put together a meal plan for you.
You can actually.
It's probably programmed
put a
better than a
marathon plan together. Put a Ironman plan together.
Yes.
How do I gain 20 pounds of muscle? Like you can do anything. It'll tell you.
It'll tell you exactly what to do.
Within a reasonably accurate.
Yep.
Yep.
The missing link and the same thing why Peloton and all this stuff doesn't work is who's going to call you when you don't do
accountability.
That's everything. So you got to the willpower piece is always a limiting factor because like kids get sick, you have a bad night's sleep, your knee hurts a little bit, and you're like tomorrow, right? And so it's
a dangerous word.
That's our job. I know that's our job is to say like, oh, your knee hurts, like we'll do upper body today. You didn't sleep well. We'll go 5 out of 10 intensity today. Like we're just going to keep you moving because you don't want to break the chain. It's the most important piece and the underlying theme of success with just fitness, health, and many things is consistency over time. Just like learning a language, you have to keep doing it or you will lose it. It gets harder to relearn.
It's unbelievably. Yes, unbelievable. I actually the little story is I worked out 440 days in a row.
Dang.
Right?
Let's go.
That's crazy. And I started, and my wife's like, do you think maybe like it's actually harder for you not to work out? I was like, yeah, you're probably right. So I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. I'm just going to try and take a break from working out just to see where my mindset. I'm not even kidding, dude. I took like a week off. Yeah. It was so hard to get back into the gym.
Yep. It only takes a couple
days. It went that fast.
After that amount of time, it still got tough after
that fast went away.
Yep.
Now, granted, then and slowly the age crept up, and there's other factors too that were involved with that. But this is a lifelong thing. Yeah. Health.
Yep.
Right. So as soon as if you have health problem, you have one problem. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're out there doing that. Helping them out.
Just embrace that it's going to be tough, like anything else that's good in life.
Yeah. So where's the future of SOTA Fitness Personal Training? Like where are you guys headed?
Yeah. So we have our current space, and honestly, that space is bigger than what we probably would do moving forward.
Because you did a renovation. So
Yeah,
what does
we did
that
a big
renovation
one.
mean? Was it new equipment or what?
Oh, we did everything. We got new equipment. We painted every wall. We took a wall down, added a bathroom, added an office. I mean, it was a giant facelift.
Wow.
When I first started, it was like, I didn't qualify for anything from banks. They're like, you can have like a line of credit for $5,000. I was like, oh God. So I did that at 2 different banks thinking that
A
was
couple
like,
100-pound weights.
yeah, I mean, so I had like a couple bikes and some dumbbells. We just threw them on the floor, and
Yeah.
But now we have a gym full of equipment that we don't have room for more. So now we're working on paying off this renovation loan, and then this year we'll probably hit like our membership cap at the space we have now. That's the goal. And coming back on like those interpersonal relationships, have you heard of Dunbar's number?
No.
So it was a researcher who I think it was studying like primates. He looked at their social circles, and he extrapolated that like humans, we can have like 115, 130 like close relationships before we start to lose important details.
Okay.
And I felt that in our gym where like sometimes I'll see like a member I've known for like 7 years, and all of a sudden for 10 seconds I'm like,
You forget their name.
oh my God, what's their name? Because like there's new people, and I don't like losing that touch. That's really important to us.
Yeah.
And there's a workaround because we have our coaches, right? They have their sub circles. They're never going to have more than like 100 assigned clients. But moving forward, we look for a smaller space. So the goal is this year we have good systems, continue to grow, and then we will look at other locations. And the sky's the limit. I mean, one of our goals is 10 gyms in 10 years as far as the big, hairy, audacious goal.
The BHAG. I
that's
like
right.
that. That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's good. You gotta have those.
We just want to keep helping people and help them navigate and take the guesswork out because this stuff is hard, and we want to be the ambassadors, so to speak, to healthier life and unlock all they want to do in life for as long as possible.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Do you think you can be in Maple Grove?
That's one of the targets that I would have.
You'll have a client.
All sorts of. There you go. There you go. We can finally have that push-up contest.
Yeah, we can kind of live up to the push-up, pull-up,
exactly.
Murph time contest.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, because you're not at capacity yet, you're close.
Yeah.
What would what would best course of action go? Or we can put it on the screen too, but
yeah, if you're interested in learning more and seeing what we do, you just go to sotafitness.com. Our name is now SOTA Personal Training, but sotafitness.com, you hit talk to a trainer. It'll get you in contact with me, and I'll reach out just to schedule a discovery call, and we'll go from there.
perfect.
Yep.
Well, thanks for being here.
Matt.
I really
This was
appreciate
fun.
it.